Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Who am I but I'm Dre Mac? Came into the game just to spit facts. Into the space that I'm in. They got me by the Dre cause I'm cold with the pen. I run no diamonds but I still shine. You can dig me cause my boy's mine. My tracks flame like a dilute. I order blood on my tongue. These niggas warm blue. I'ma throw with a gas leak. Camouflage in the mist, but you smell me. One spark, then I bet you I'ma blow up. Then throw my name around, get stupid, then you go dumb. No rest for the weary. A versus thinking in his man, but you can't see me. You rather drink, they gon' pull up. I'm juggernaut through the game, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. I came to eat at the a la carte. Got stripped of a bear, come and brainstorm. Then I come together like a Voltron. Then I poured all the planks to use Decepticons. Fake rappers that retreat like Cobra. 80s they can throw they like. Up in the storage and I'm E-man. Up, down, down, man, I'm cheap. You a beast, man. I take a beating. Ninja Turtle rap, Turtle Clans get defeated. High in my ride, you can call me Night Rider. You can never stop me, cause I'm a guy bomb. Bad attitude like a rocket, my whole to the A, and I bet you can't stop us. LL bad, when I go and show up, you can hear the haters in the back. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What is going on, everybody? This is your man Dre Mac coming to you again with another episode of the Dre Mac Show. 7:30 in the morning Central Time, 8:30 on the East Coast. And then if you're on the West Coast, get up. You already know that the early bird gets the worm. And today, finally going to go over episode 3 of Daredevil. I might take this do-rag off. But episode 4 of the recap, excuse me, of Daredevil. Since yesterday, I didn't do it because I was on a job last night that I'm talking about worked every muscle in my body. And when I got home, I was sleepy going home. Soon as I hit the bed, I was done. I was completely done as soon as I hit the bed. So, that's the reason why we didn't have the show yesterday. I needed that sleep. Plus all the recording that I did from Monday to Wednesday. One of them was gonna give. One of them was gonna give. But hopefully you guys are happy. Hope you guys are healthy. Shout out to my man Heavy again over at the Heavy Get React channel. But you kind of already know what it is. The real question is, All right. Let's see who is all in the house. Roberta, the church auntie. Good morning. Andre Ware is in the house. Good morning. Junior Network is up here. Good morning. Xavier Phoenix is up here. Good morning. Touring Rain Reloaded is up here playing video games in the middle of the night. I ain't mad at you, dog. Good morning. Robin D is in the house. And of course, you already know if this is your first time watching this channel, go ahead and give me a like. Even if you don't like it, give me a thumbs down. Something, just interact with the actual channel, even if you agree or disagree. Tracy Woods, good morning. And Chill, that sleep was so far. I went to bed. I woke up at 3:50 in the afternoon. I was knocked. I was knocked. I needed every bit of that. It was like working out. It was well, I just tell you. So, I told you guys I work in an automotive factory, and I was at a job where, in the body shop where you had to put these two big metal hooks in so the tailgate could get in there, because the tailgate got to go through all of this stuff. And when the tailgate gets painted, it's on these two hooks. So when I tell you, after a while, because I haven't did that job in so long, my back arms, my back, shoulders, because you gotta pick them up, wear them out, boom, pick them up, wear them out, boom. We're talking about, these tailgates is coming, so you got to come, one go on the left side, one go on the right side, make sure it's clipped in, all of this stuff, boom, take it out. And when you're doing this, like this one over and over again, man, especially if you ain't did it in a while, man, I was wore out. I was wore out. I even woke up because my alarm clock went off at 6:45, and then because that's normally if I do take a nap, my alarm clock wakes me up at 6:45. I try to get the thumbnail and the channel information up, or the video information up for the stream. 6:45 came. I was like, all right, just I'm gonna take a second. I went back to sleep. I woke up at 7:30. I said, I got to get some rest. But tomorrow I'll be off. You see, yeah. We're gonna do I'm gonna do the stream with Pam. I'm gonna do my own individual one when I get home. Of course, like I said, I got seven tickets left. Especially if you are in the Kansas City area. I do have 7 tickets left. Um, so I had somebody come in last night, was like, yo, do you still got tickets? I was like, yeah, I got 8 left. She was like, well, I'm going. I was like, that's number 7. So I got 7 tickets still to give away. So hopefully I'm gonna go live on here later on. Yeah. I will talk to Pam and see what's up. Lana J, what's up? What's good? Good morning. Good morning. Nice to see you up in the chat. Good morning. All right. So, Daredevil episode 4. Before I start, I seen when I was watching this episode, there's something that has happened in this show, and maybe it's because of the tone or the theme. It's the tone too. But there's something that I noticed in this show. This is getting on my nerves. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yes, Frank Castle was back, Lana J. Frank Castle was back. And so is my forehead, y'all. Woo! Nah, look at that forehead on shine. But there's something that I noticed about this episode, right? I noticed that there's this thing that has been missing in Marvel Entertainment, and that's character development. Character development. Yeah, R.I.P. to Foggy, though. R.I.P. to Foggy. He'll be back as a Force Ghost next season on Daredevil. Foggy comes back as a Force Ghost. Would he talk to Daredevil in his ear, or would he hover around him like that thing from Death Note? We'll see next year on season 2 of Daredevil. But Marvel has had a problem, to me, and this is just my personal opinion. My forehead is like extra light right now. It was, yeah, all dark on one side, extra light. Anyway, extra big too. God damn. But nah, there was this, there's this thing that Marvel has had a problem with, since the end of Phase 3, and it was. I'm not gonna lie, with some problems in Phase 3. Captain Marvel suffered from this because of the structure of Captain Marvel. there was character development, but Captain Marvel, if it would have been structured in reverse, where you show the flashbacks of Carol and how she was as as Auntie Carol, and with her with Maria Rambeau and all of that, and then you show her with the Kree, then it's totally different. It's a totally different tone of movie also. But when you show her with the Kree doing all this stuff, having these flashbacks or whatever, and you get the character development late, and the character is not necessarily understood by the end of that movie. I got it, but I got it because I actually looked at it, was like, if they did this in reverse, put this here, put this there, this is a way better movie. Even though I liked it, I didn't love it. And even in the first Thor movie, there's character development. Thor has to go through something. Of course, we call it the hero's journey. But the reason why that Daredevil the Disney Plus Daredevil show has been one of the better shows, along with Neighborhood Spider-Man. Character development. You don't have to have the character in the suit all the time to develop character. Remember, he is also a lawyer, so we're getting that lawyer aspect that we did not get in She-Hulk, as far as real life lawyer stuff. Like, you know what I mean? So when I was looking at this episode, I'm looking at the first 4 episodes, there's a lot of character development for the character of Matt, what he's going through, how he's feeling. You know what I mean? Why does he not want to be Daredevil? Why does he do want to be Daredevil? Why does he help out the little people? Why he's not going after certain people? All of this stuff is character development, because you can now you're really understanding the character journey. Hell, the scene in here with him and Frank Castle is extreme character development for both of them, especially if you're a fan of the Punisher series on Netflix and of Daredevil. You culminate that and you see what you got here. And to me, it's just me, I kind of wish that, and I'm being honest with you, the tone of Daredevil is kind of the tone I wish there was a lot of the MCU films. Like, take yourself a little more seriously. Like, you had your gags and stuff like that in earlier movies and stuff like that, but it didn't overtake the tone and the heart of the movie. You know what I mean? And I think that a lot of times that what has happened is that gags and all this, and gags and Easter eggs and cameos overtook character development and good storytelling, where you understand the who, what, where, when, and why of a character, and you're doing it in X amount of time, so you understand why they're doing what they're doing, or why they're not doing what they're doing. And to me, the scene with Frank is the biggest gut punch, of this whole entire series. Because now you're starting to really see, why Frank is the way that he is. You're actually getting it. I know people joke about the counseling of Vanessa and Wilson Fisk, but that's needed if you know what happened in towards the end of season 3 of Daredevil. It makes sense. In the same retrospect, you don't have to have the character beating up people all day. That gets boring. You know what I mean? That gets boring. So to have the humanistic side of Wilson Fisk, because now you're starting to understand a little bit more of the of his journey. Also, this is something that we saw that I liked in the Penguin series, because it's not just, you didn't have to have Batman. This is really legitimately focused on the character of the Penguin. Why are we even caring about this monster? this guy that we know is trash. We know he's no good. We know he's a snake, all of that. But why do I care? Why do I care about the relationship with his mother? Why do I care about the relationships with the Falcones, the Maronis, all of these things? Why? It made you care because you at one point you wanted to win, and also at the same time, he deserved to get shot. So you actually start to fall in love with the character because you are seriously watching a character develop. And I'm sorry, there's been a lot of shows where the character development has been piss poor due to trying to get an action scene here and trying to do this and trying to do that instead of us just staying with the character. This is something that I was talking about with Sam Wilson's character. And it's funny because I was going to talk about this at one time, and I think I still might. It's funny how charismatic that Anthony Mackie was on the Pivot podcast. You get none of that, in the show. You didn't get any of that in the movies. You didn't get a love interest. There's no real character development for this guy. So it suffers because why do I care about why should I care about this guy being Captain America? You got a little bit, you got some of it. I'm not going to say you didn't get it in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but you didn't really get a character study of how he really, like, the emotional toll it takes on a person to be Captain America. Again, they did it with Isaiah Bradley. Don't do it with the supporting character when technically I need to be, feeling that way with the main character. I need to be feeling his journey, not the secondary character that, unfortunately, he was the first Black Captain America, and we get that. But let us feel that internal turmoil with, the new Captain America. If you're going to give me Captain America, make me care about him. I care more about Bucky because he had way more of the character development in the heart of the show than this did. That's what I'm talking about. You got Frank Castle, character development. The small part of time that we sit with, we spent with White Tiger, character development. You just sitting there talking to this character. Understand, there's no punching going on. There's no explosions. There's no spectacle. Two people having a real human conversation. That's character development. And this is what I like about, even though this was a little bit more of the slower, got a little bit bitty funny scenes or whatever, but this is the character that we got. American Ninja Girl, what's up? Hey, chill. I do agree. He had been drinking a little bit, and make sure if you like it what a brother's talking about. Maybe they don't like it, Roberta. I took the do-rag off, forehead shining. You know what I mean? They're like, I ain't listening to this dude, so we put his forehead up. I'm seeing his thoughts. There's a movie on screen, and it's coming from your forehead. Nah. Let's get to it. Let's get to the episode. This episode was called Sick Simfer Satima. So give me a second. Let's get to this thing here. Called Disney's Daredevil Born Again. And of course, if this is the first time you're watching one of these recaps, I might mess up on some names. It's okay. I'm going to go through it in 10-second intervals because I don't want to get in trouble with Disney, Marvel. I already support Jonathan Majors. I don't want them coming after my Disney Plus account and trying to get me or whatever in litigations. Hoping that Jonathan Majors' letter gets to Kevin Feige. He understands where he's at right now. But all right, let's get to it. All right. So this opening scene, which was an excellent opening scene. I'm going to play a little bit of it, but it's an excellent opening scene because this is getting the belongings of the White Tiger. Of course, it lasts. Torian, I'm gonna get to that. Because I'm not gonna lie, even though they were cussing, it was so it wasn't like the boys when they cuss and stuff like that. Because sometimes the boys cuss, I'm like, that don't even feel natural. This felt natural. Oh, let me get to that. So of course it was getting the white tiger mask and the amulet because it was in the coroner's office, where his Matt was coming in. He was talking to the coroner because he was trying to get information. Matt is actually trying to get information so he can find out if there was a bullet casing that has been missing, which comes up later on in the episode. But that's basically what he was looking for as far as the information. Then you had Hector. I mean, I'm sorry. I want to call him the actual guy's name, but the White Tiger's niece. Because I was about to call him Hector Morales. But you got the White Tiger's niece in here. She comes up and she's trying to go see her uncle. And I'm not gonna lie. The first thing I thought when I seen this was, please, for the love of God, don't let this little girl be part of the Young Avengers too, as young White Tiger. Please. I'm honestly at this point, I do not want that. I don't want that show. And especially if you're not going to bring in Patriot. I don't care if his family was fighting at Disney World. Bring back Patriot. You know what I'm saying? Disney, get off your high horse. You know what I mean? Ava, yeah. But so I seen her size, and I'm like, nah, cuz no. They bet not use this girl at her age and height as a young White Tiger. No. They better recast her with somebody older. You used to recasting everybody but T'Challa. But she made an excellent point about not trusting. It just think about it. Why everybody gets talking about everything else being woke. I've always said this show is woke as hell because she's actually, giving a perspective of what a lot of people think of the cops, especially when cops, the road cops, not all cops. Because let me emphasize this. I'm talking about cops that go rogue who wear that badge like bullies. I'm talking about those cops. I'm not talking about good cops because there's good cops out there and they're bad cops. It's like there's good people and bad people that's out here. And she's talking about the road cops, but when you have a few road cops, it makes the whole department look bad. And if you're sticking behind the road cops, then all of y'all are bad. If you can't call out the road cops. And she's given the sentiment that a lot of people was feeling through George Floyd, through Trayvon Martin, and through, countless others that have been shot and killed by the hands of the police. This was retaliation because he beat the case. You know what I'm saying? Against some cops. And what is she supposed to feel? What up, Tina? What's up, Dr. James Willis? What's good? And yeah, he kind of punked him. But I do like the fact that they don't let Matt overtalk. They let Matt they allow the scene to play out and allow the character just to get it off their chest. That's one thing I do like about the character of Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock, because he brings this sense of calmness. Like, I'm like in real life, I'm really listening to you. Like Antonio McNeil, absolutely. Shout out to you. I forgot to shout you out. I see you up in here. Shout you out also. Good morning to you, my brother. But this is the sentiment. And they allowed just a character to just talk and get that out. And he hugged her. And I felt that. You know what I mean? Because how many people do feel like after police, they don't have our back. You know what I mean? And he walked out with her, and it's just, like I said, Charlie Cox as Daredevil, first of all, I've always said this, I said this about Batman. As much as I like the Batman, I like the Batman better than I have the Bruce Wayne, because they never developed the Bruce Wayne. The best example of character development with Batman was Batman Mask of the Phantasm, because you have, basically like a Batman year one type, but you get more time with Bruce. You know what I mean? So when he does put on the persona of Batman, then do you get to the end, you understanding why he wants to be Batman, why he can never have a real life. You're getting the same thing with Matt, with this duality, and you get to understand him as a lawyer, something that they made prominent in a lot of the comics. I'm so that's why I love. I think Charlie Cox is one of those perfect castings. You know what I mean? When it comes to and again, this was Marvel, but not Marvel. You know what I mean? Well, this was Marvel, but on the Netflix side, this was really good acting, really good. I mean, really good casting, really good acting. This was everything. And you see it in Matt's face, especially after he got beat up by the cops. What up? Be positive. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. You see the trigger with the Punisher thing. You just said the Muse right here. And do you see you get your first look at Muse? Muse is, first of all, Muse strong as hell. Lonnie J, yes, man. Yeah, Charlie plays blind like no. He does play a really good blind person. But Muse got to be super strong because he's just carrying the body. You know what I mean? Like, he's just carrying the body. Now, is this scrawny kid from episode, what was that? Episode 2, who goes and gets an autograph from Matt's new love interest in here and the attorney? Is that him? I mean, I'm just looking at the nose and how prominent and low the nose is, but honestly, this is comic accurate. Very comic accurate. All right, let's keep going. Then we get to the intro. Now, who else was laughing at Wilson Fisk in this area? You know what I'm talking about when I get to the scene. And I'm gonna tell you about that scene too with them kids. Good God Almighty. So, my man, Danny was hanging out with BB, and they are out here getting drinks, kicking it, having a good time. Drinks on me, drink up, drink up, drink up. And this idiot. Now, I'm not gonna lie. BB and her friend fine as hell. How he hanging with them is beyond me. I guess you got to be close to the mayor. You know what I mean? To be able to get that level of women next to you. I'm a little jealous. A little jealous. You know what I mean? Kind of jealous. But anyway, they out here taking shots and drinks. It was like, I got to be at work in the morning. It was like, no, one more shot. And then he starts spilling the beans about what. Now, BB is a journalist. You know she's a journalist. This fool gets to spilling his guts because he's drunk. And that's what happens. You know what I mean? He's like, I did not like this episode. What up, Blue? Exactly, Xavier Phoenix. Like, do you see these women? They're not hanging with a guy that looks like that unless he got paper. You know what I'm saying? Or he ain't good. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? And he in there, just chilling. You know what I mean? Just chilling. Giving up his secrets. You know what I mean? Snitching. You know what I mean? And he up here, just telling. That's what happens. Now, trust me. Look at this. Look at this. You think they hanging with him because he's a cool guy? Or you think she's hanging with him, her and her drunk girlfriends? I mean, he's technically in a friend zone in this mug right here. Like, if I'm kind of being honest, he's in a friend zone right now. Let's be real. So, I guess. I guess. I mean, he's in the friend zone. So I guess, but they was playing him because he went and spilled his guts. You know what I'm saying? Got in a cab, which, you know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, it's New York, so I was like, a cab. I'm like, yeah, I forgot they still got cabs in New York. You know what I mean? So, but he already just spilled the guts. And he over there like, in this scene, I'm not going to lie. This scene, at first, I'm like, what is this about? My man, first of all, the cops is eating fiddle faddles. My man, for a homeless dude, got one of the best trim line haircuts I done seen on a homeless dude yet. You know what I'm saying? Why ain't nobody cutting my hair like that? You know what I'm saying? Trimming me up. But my man was in there, he done sold some fiddle faddles. Obviously, I mean, for one, for a homeless dude, or a dude that's going through hard times, my man got on some Timbs. Clean Timbs at that. Is he really homeless? You know what I'm saying? Clean t-shirt. You know what I mean? He don't look like Kendrick Lamar in that episode of Power. You know what I mean? My man way too clean. Did he steal his clothes too? Let's find out. But he sold the fiddle faddles. The cops was like, oh yeah, fiddle faddles. You know what I'm saying? You're still going to jail. Now, I'm not gonna lie. When I seen this, I'm like, oh, that's really bad green screen. I know he's on the roof, and while he's on the roof, he's holding, you know what I'm saying? He was holding on to the the piece of his horn from his Daredevil costume. But the scene is hella, it looks hella fake. It looks disturbingly fake. Which, again, remember that this show went through a lot of reshoots. You know what I mean? So that's why that doesn't look as good as it should be. But he got a phone call. He needed to do a favor. You know what I mean? And that favor was going down and talking to the guy who just stole the fiddle faddles. Which, again, sometimes you gotta have some fiddle faddles, man. You gotta have that good caramel taste in your taste with some Kool-Aid or something. I feel you. Now, we're back with Wilson Fisk and Vanessa. And again, this is good character development. We seen them go from being way across from each other. They're a little closer right now. You know what I'm saying? They still, they're not all the way there, but they're getting there, right? And she's explaining that she has some trauma. When he left and went to Oklahoma and appeared in the show Echo, because I would never reference that show, but he appeared in the show Echo for no apparent reason whatsoever, because he just want to have the Kingpin as a new street level Thanos, I guess, or street level Big Bad. You know what I mean? They threw him in that stupid show. I'm sorry, I didn't like Echo. Wasn't that good, and they had Daredevil in there for a second, but that show wasn't that good. That show ended on a whimper, and nobody's heard from Echo since. Not even in What If. That should tell you something. Anyway, but she starts explaining, why she went and got somebody to, ease them lonely nights, So as she was explaining, even though he didn't want to hear it, she was explaining that, look, I had some issues. I had some problems. I got abandonment issues. I wanted to be touched. I wanted to be loved. You did not love me because you left me. And with those abandonment issues, it made me lean into another man's arms. And she's explaining, why the man's arms were so beautiful. And Punisher. Wilson Fisk didn't want to hear that. Nah, you need to get up. So, and he was explaining that, she knew about it. He had a conversation with the guy, but they don't know where he is, and we discussed business and what them saying certain things at the same time, like, where were you at? Oh, wait, on business, or, it was one part of the scene where, how did she say it? When they asked, where is, I think it forgot Andrew or whatever. I don't know. The guy locked up in the basement. I don't know. You know what I mean? They said at the same time, which ringing the alarms was like, okay, that woman is gorgeous too. She's very pretty. But, she pulled Vanessa to the side, was like, do you feel a little comfortable? She was like, oh, trust me, I'm good. He'll never trust me. He ain't never going to touch me. He'll touch everybody else. He ain't touching me. So we go to the BB report, and I like this guy. Reason why I like this guy, he like, look, if I was a vigilante, I'd be a vigilante. I put two to their skull. That's what I do. You know what I mean? So you get with this client, this guy, and he's asking for probation, and I'm not gonna lie, I like this scene and I didn't like this scene. For one, because a lawyer, even a court-appointed attorney, is not going to sit there and listen to your demands like this. first of all, how was you so homeless, but you got a fresh haircut? Did you cut it yourself? Who cut your hair? Where you live at? You know what I mean? Why your hair so fresh? You know what I'm saying? Why do you have on new looking Timbs? I need these things answered. Wasn't never answered, but he was berating them. So I need probation. They be cutting my food. And then he go into his, I call it jail speech, because I've heard that multiple times where, hey, look, I'm homeless. I ain't got nothing to eat. I'm eating out of garbage. I'm this. I'm that. Not taking accountability, of certain things that you could be doing. But I felt him. But then again, I was like, nobody cares, because you can easily start your life over again, go to a homeless shelter, find places that will give you work, all of that stuff, and yes, there is certain things, like the criminal justice system pays a lot more to house than Social Security, food stamps, all of that, and like I said, there are certain things that you could do, and I understand you going hungry, nobody give you food stamps. Have you tried working at McDonald's? Have you tried working at Taco Bell? You know what I'm saying? Pizza Hut, Little Caesar, something. If you hungry, take some food home. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Torian, I felt you was low key annoying to me, but food pantries, all of that. It was, and I understand it's New York, just like LA. You don't want to be broke in those places. I was broke in LA. I didn't go eat out no garbage. I got my ass back to Kansas City. But even with that, there's just things that there's certain things that you could do when you got if you can still just ask some people for a job. Let me get off of that, because it was I understand, but it was kind of like, yeah. But my man Matt was putting on the charm, trying to get my man probation, where he got to flirt with this woman, this part of the district attorney's office. She ended up settling for like 7 days with a couple days spent, 4 days. He's spent 3 days in jail now. Just release him. Really, for even if you got multiple cases, for petty crime, petty larceny, petty stealing. They normally, just depends on the amount that you sell to get the property back. Normally, they give you a couple days or give you a week in jail anyway until you get up out of there. You know what I mean? But he flirted with the young lady to get him the time. Speaking all in French and busting her out. He ain't slick. You know what I'm saying? Matt got them glasses on in the cave because he's a pimp. He Daredevil the pimp. All right, so he runs into the officer, the one that beat him up. Obviously, my man's looking fresh. He healed from his wounds. You know what I mean? So he pressed him about the murder of Hector Abeles. Wait a minute. Hold up. Where is it at? Sorry, gotta go back to my notes. Hector Ayala. I can't talk today. Maybe I still needed some sleep. But he pressed them because I love the fact that they, the way that they have Matt uses super hearing and all of that. He pressed him so he could get next to him so he could hear his heartbeat. And I love the way that Charlie Cox tilts his ear like towards the person. You know what I mean? So he could be able to like hear their heartbeat. You know what I mean? To see if he's lying. And I love the way that they go into like this forced perspective, where I wish they would do that with the Spider Senses. They kind of did that in Spider-Man No Way Home, but I wish they would have a little bit did that, more often, so you can actually see his Spider Senses. But this was cool, just to make sure he wasn't lying. And he went on about his business. Now we back with Wilson Fisk. We down here in where the gangster be killing folks at, but down in this area where he's basically saying, look, this could be for redevelopment. We could do a lot with this area, condos, and a lot of other things like a Taco Bell, so that guy doesn't have to steal fiddle faddles anymore. Don't you think you would like that, Vanessa? No. I love Vincent D'Onofrio's voice in this show. Don't you think that this would be a good opportunity to be able to develop everything we need here? I think we could do it. My man is over here trying to be Donald Trump. He's trying to get condos and stuff down there where they killing folks. He was like, but his advisor was like, wait, we need housing permits. We need the council to be able to vote on this. We can't just start breaking land on this. Well, we'll talk to the council. We'll do it. Whatever we got to do. I believe there's potential here. There's a lot of things you got to do before you start breaking ground on that crap. You know, so, and again, this shows a little bit of the motivation of what he's trying to do. He's trying to say, look, I promised these people that I was going to start cleaning up stuff, and damn it, I'm going to clean it up. So while he's walking away, Daniel gets that message, you know, with the headline. And then we back to this dude. I ain't gonna lie, I'm skipping this part because this is when he goes on and you know, he tells him he got 7 days. And my man's talking about how he missed his food stamps last time he got arrested. I get it. But have you tried going? Have you do a big crime, go to jail, you get 3 hots in the cot. You know what I mean? A lot of dudes I know would do that, especially during the wintertime. But again, have you tried getting the job? Because you never said once, you know, I tried to get, I'm out here trying to work. They won't work because of physical condition or something. Yeah, I did not like this. I was like, but I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. There's no accountability. It's just I'm going through this and I'm going through that and woe is me. But you ain't did nothing. What have you said you've done? You know what I mean? It was I didn't like this. But I like this scene. I like this scene because for one, he doesn't want to be there. And this reminds me of George W. Bush back in the day. Where he was, you know, on September 11th, when he was reading them stories, and he was uncomfortable. And these kids, I'm trying to tell you, these kids can't sing for crap, and the music teacher needs to be fired because these kids suck. Also, BB dropped that report. You know what I'm saying? Because my man was talking too damn much. Shut up. If you talking, you ain't trying to talk your way into some then you need to shut up. Shut it. So she was like, ooh, you in trouble now. And my man, first of all, my man got to endure the worst singing from these. This is supposed to be a middle school. My man is in the 5th grade right here. My man right on the left is in the 5th grade. The girl in the back is in the 4th. You know what I'm saying? The man back here is a grown adult. You know what I mean? This kid literally on the right-hand side is clearly in high school. You know what I'm saying? And you suck. You suck. And you're singing, we built this city on rock and roll. Oh, good God. This is trash. Soon as Wilson got a chance to get up out of there, he got up out of there. That was like, we got another. Nope. First of all, this lady needs to be fired. That lady right there needs her job revoked. No. In middle school, what middle school do you know has these little ass kids in there and a horrible, horrible music teacher? No. I'm like Wilson Fisk. We got to get up out of here. You know what I mean? And then Wilson seen that headlines, you know what I'm saying, Mary Garbage. And he's like, oh, who that we know who leaked it, my man. But he's all up in here looking guilty. You're looking guilty. Wilson snapped, though. Wilson was pit. You see this pit walk he was doing? He said, I want everything. I want it all. Everybody got to go. I want to know who the leak was. And he snapped on everybody. But I did like the fact, oh, no, this is when he had to go to, my bad. This is when he had to go to not Latveria, but Latvia, the festival for the Latvia people, and They were singing the same damn song. You can't sing either. You guys suck. Stop it. Why? I don't want to hear no version of this. I don't want to hear the black version. I don't want to hear the Puerto Rican version, the Dominican version. I don't barely want to hear the white version. You guys suck. Why are you there? You're just making my man annoyed. My man is, that's the way I felt listening to this part. I was like, oh my God, not again. So this is where we get Wilson snapping on people. And I gotta give props. Dr. Carpy's in the house. What's up? I mean, good God. Oh my goodness, it was trash. But Wilson was going off. But I gotta give props. I'm gonna give props where props is due. He owed up to his stuff. He said, I'm the one who made the league. You know, but even though he did it, he, gave his undying loyalty to Wilson Fisk. So obviously, I know this is a kid from The Sopranos, but obviously they're going to set him up for something way bigger. There's got to be a setup for something way bigger down the road, because you wouldn't have so much of this character in this story if he's not built for something else. You know what I mean? It gotta be. You know what I mean? So he's built up for something else. And it wouldn't surprise me if he was helping out, running his criminal empire, because he has this this loyalty to Wilson Fisk. But he did tell him, you ever get out of line again, I'll kill you. In my own words, I'll kill you. He was like, if you ever pull a stuff like that again, I'll smack the crap out of you. You will? Oh, okay, I'll take the slap. But I got to give him his props, though. He was man enough to call himself out. You know what I'm saying? He was man enough to own it. So I felt that. You know what I'm saying? Did the BB report again, and it's a lot of garbage. I don't know if you guys been to New York, but it's trash everywhere. You know what I mean? And it was like, well, who's going to clean up this city? The people who sing we built this city? No. So we got my man Matt over here using his superpowers of detective skill. Now, again, wow, that I wasn't trying to pause on that, but I guess he had to go. But tell me this, riddle me this: is Matt more of a detective than, let's say, Bruce Wayne? Because my man is in this detective mode right now, retracing the steps, and I'm thinking he's using, when he taps on the stick, to generate sonic vibrations, since he uses basically as like an enhanced sonar. So is it tell me, comic book fans, all of that, is it out of the realm of possibility when he clicks that stick, he's looking for vibrations so he can be able to see the vibrations, a la the Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck? You know what I mean? So I think he was using it to be able to hear where that is an echolocation, like a dolphin. So is it's echolocation, but echolocation and sonar a little similar, or am I off? I'm probably off. But he was able to throw the bottle, and he heard the casing. Now my man is cold as hell to be able to find that damn casing. Like, you know what I mean? I know he blind, but how the hell did he find that? He threw a little Don Julio. He said, Don Julio. I mean, I don't know. But he found that casing, and he rubbed on it where he found, which we're going to get to in a second, that Punisher emblem. Sonar like a bat, but if it's echolocation like a dolphin, then you use, it's all sonic vibration though, right? It's all vibration. So creating an image out of vibration. So I don't know. That's above my pay grade. I barely could get these people names right. So my man is over there. Well, I was wondering why he was walking in the hood. If you notice, my man Matt was walking in the hood. I was wondering, like, hey, that looks like the hood. You know what I mean? But on the hood elevator, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh snap! Where Matt going? Matt was going down to find our good friend Frank Castle. And I'm not gonna lie, this is the best scene. Can I be honest with you guys? I think this is one of the best scenes I've seen in a Disney Plus series and probably in Marvel. It was like I believe Torian and somebody said this whole thing was a master class in acting. Masterclass, because he was basically trying to get him to understand. He was, first of all, dope that he was calling them red. That was dope. Second of all, you're coming down and asking me for my help because you can't do things on your own because you feel responsible for the death of your best friend. Well, I feel the weight of the world on my the weight of the world on me that I allowed my family to die. That's the way I feel, and I hear them. You know what I mean? He said, Lottie J said, when Matt slapped that man and said, I'm sorry, I was like, oh my God. He slapped the crap out of him. I thought they were going to start fighting. You know what I'm saying? But he was pushing that button. But he was pushing that button for a reason. You know what I mean? He was pushing that button for a reason because he wanted them to understand where you're at. And that's what it is, Dr. Carpenter. They're trying to bring out each other's alter ego. He's trying to say why I don't want to do it. He's saying why you should do it, why I do it. And like I said, this scene, instead of him, especially he called him the P word. You know what I'm saying? And the way that John Bernthal did these lines, everything. Man, it was good. This was good. Actually, the rest of this episode, from the time you pick up with Frank to the end of this episode, is amazing. Is amazing. For one, you're trying to make sure that your friend, you're the Daredevil. Your friend was murdered. Why ain't you doing anything about that? There's other people, that could be saved. But you're not doing that. You want me to do your dirty work with you. You could be doing it yourself, and then you start punking him like, you hear Foggy. You hear it. You hear it in your head. I love this. You hear it every day. And it was like, I hear my kids and my little kids call me daddy. You know what I mean? And Lottie J, I'm trying to tell you, this was in the fields. It up that bow. Look, he was like, yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. It's man, my God, this was good. This was good. And he was getting him. It'd probably stay. I ain't gonna lie. That probably stung him a little more. You know what I mean? That probably stung him a little more. And Roberta said, get 5 more likes in. 5 more likes. 5 more likes. And he was like, what are you talking about? Then he was like, he got life. And there was a scene. When he said, he was like, Bullseye. You know what I'm saying? What did Bullseye get? He was like, Bullseye got life. He said, did Foggy get life? He said, what about Foggy, huh? Did he get life? Man, dope. I'm trying to tell you, this is dope scene. And of course, I can't play it. You know what I'm saying? I can't play it the way I want to because I'm going to get in trouble. Yeah, but he broke down, and that's what he was trying to do. Break down and think about what you could be doing with the gift that you got. That's basically, in oh so many words, you gotta gift. You gotta be able to do that. You know what I mean? He was like, basically, if I could, trust me, if I did not work when this comes on, I would most definitely do a watch along. But I am at work because these lights, they already have to fund me in for the lights flashing off in all of Kansas City, mind you, that one day. When me and Mika was doing Blurred AF, all of Kansas City flickered out. Yeah, I paid my phone bill, my light bill, and all of that. I don't need y'all stuff. Nah. But yeah, that's the only reason. But trust me, if I had the type, that's why I'm trying to get I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers, 20,000 subscribers, 50,000 subscribers, so I can quit. I'm tired of working that hard for the man. But yeah, he needed that. He needed that pep talk. But at the same time, and I love the way that John Brightenthal ends this scene, because Matt is crying. It's like I said, it's a master class of acting. You know what I mean? It's a master class of acting. But the way that John Brightenthal ends the scene when Matt leaves, this look here, I keep telling people, it's the way that you deliver the lines, but can you act with your face? You can tell he's telling himself the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like he's getting ready to have a breakdown. Again, masterclass of acting. Now, Vanessa and Wilson. Again, this all ends perfectly. Because now you're starting to see the parallel of Will. It's almost like both of their alter egos are starting to come out. We're starting to get Kingpin, Mayor Kingpin, not Mayor Wilson Fisk, Mayor Kingpin. That's what I need. I need Mayor Kingpin. And then you're starting to get the return of the Daredevil. You're about to start getting the return of Frank Castle, the Punisher. You're getting all of that and plus more on the next exciting episode of Dragon Ball Z Kai. But he was telling them, yeah, I didn't harm Adam or all of that, whatever his name is. He's all right. I don't know. He's just as though he's gone. You know what I mean? And again, this is the stuff that you need. It don't need punching and all of that all the time. You need real character development. And again, I forgot. He had to go get him some of that. You know what I mean? That ching ching, bala bala bing bang. You know what I mean? He had to go get that ching ching, bala bing bang. To ease up his night. She's a very beautiful woman, though. She's a very beautiful woman. So, it's good that he has a love interest. Of course, he replaces Karen, the young lady that he works with in the law firm replaces Foggy, but he's not, she's not as prominent as Foggy was. Dre, is Matt playing? Is a player for the Himalayas? Hey, he allowed old She-Hulk. I wonder was she in her She-Hulk form when he did that? Oh, freak. I told you he a pimp. That pimp cane. He ain't blind, got a pimp cane. So again, these are scenes that really, the way this ended was so good. Hold on just for a second, because I have to do something real quick. Hold on. Sorry, I had to do something real quick. But I love this scene because this scene here, you got Kingpin going down like a secret lair, right? I think this is the juxtaposition, to see Kingpin descending and Matt ascending. Great. This is visual storytelling. No dialogue, no nothing. My man, I'm about to get on, my man Wilson Fisk. You know what I mean? I'm going to get on him because he did something that I've been waiting on this whole entire time. And, Matt getting up in the middle of the night, you know what I'm saying, going to a secret supply closet. This was, I ain't gonna lie, this should have had some rap music to it. He's walking past that painting where him and Daredevil was fighting that in season, what was that, season 2 is where they got that? Or was it season 3? I think it was season 3. Yeah. Matt's coming up into his, everybody going to their secret lair, and you get to see the Daredevil mask. You know what I'm saying? You get to see all the Daredevil masks. I'm interested in this black one, though, because, like I said, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man had the black one. This is the walk of shame. Never bring this back. It reminds me too much. If he comes back in this yellow and red, I'm gonna throw something at him. He better not use this. You know what I'm saying? That outfit no more. You know what I mean? You got the red one, you got the silver one. You know what I mean? I think this is the one with the broken horn. Is the red one? You know what I'm saying? You got the silver one. This over here. A lot of this is dope. You know what I'm saying? But again, you're going to the back cave. It's like going to the back cave, but you're going to the blind layer. Nah, that don't sound right. You know what I'm saying? And he's pulling out his stuff. You know what I mean? He pulled out his stuff. Oh yeah. Hold on. Did I go back too far? My man is eating a real meal. I was mad seeing him eat that egg, white egg yolk, white, what is that? The white yolk or whatever, asparagus. That ain't what the kingpin eats. This is what the kingpin eats. What up, Cheat? That's what this is the kingpin. You're Adam. I was calling him. What I was calling him? Hey, Andrew. My man having wine. Now my man's eating. Now my man's eating. He got his wine. He got his thing. Daredevil is on a fake rooftop. You cut to the scene. I think Matt's on a God, it's so phony. You know what I'm saying? He's on the fake rooftop. No, it's not stew. It's actually pasta. It's actually pasta with Italian sausage in there. But my man is over there. That's what the kingpin eat. You know what I mean? I kind of wish he didn't lose so much weight. You know what I mean? Because you see it all in his neck. You see it all right here in his neck muscle. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I wish he wouldn't have had so much weight. But he was like, let me do my Wilson Fisk kingpin. They say forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for a late pizza. Isn't that right, Adam? That's not what he said. Well, he was just telling you forgiveness is a show of love is a show of forgiveness is a show of love. And my man just locked up. Just got him locked up, beat up knuckles, all of that. My man is over there, looking like hippie Jesus. You know what I mean? While my man over here eating a real meal. And my man, my man Matt was like, did I lose my skill? Let me go ahead and just work on I want a montage, and let me do it on the fake background. I want a montage. While my man is over here in the cellar eating drinking wine, eating good, my man is over there having a montage on top of a roof. And then we get back again. All of this ended well. My man Muse is up here draining blood from folks. It had to be the brother. Oh man, it had to be the brother. But my man is over here using human, draining their blood from human. And he's doing it while my man is awake. Oh, that is disgusting. He using these people's blood for paint. Look at my man is over here. What is that? A-Train. But yeah, my man is over there breathing heavy because he like, man, I can't breathe in this mask. You know what I mean? But that is the end of the episode. Oh my God. When I tell you, there's certain parts of this that I was like, like the kids singing, that was trash. You know what I'm saying? My man whining, that was trash. My man never said, man, I went and got a job. They didn't want to hire me. Nah, let me complain. Trash. You know what I mean? But other than that, yeah, Mew's going to be a real problem. Mew's going to be a problem. He looks strong. I mean, he already picking folks up, draining their blood like some old freaky underground, you know what I'm saying, vampire. You know what I mean? I like it, though. I like it. You know what I mean? And I can't wait for those bodies to start piling up where Matt had to come in and try to fight that. You know what I mean? I want the kingpin to get a little more weight around his neck muscle. His neck too thin. We need the Kingpin's neck to be a little bigger than that. Can we get a bigger neck Kingpin next time? You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you add prosthetics. Give me a bigger neck. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad Kingpin is eating real meals right now because I couldn't stand him eating a white egg white. You know what I'm saying? And an one asparagus. Come on, Kingpin. Eat a real meal. And you gave it to me. You gave it to me. And right here inside of my heart, I felt good. But this episode had a lot of good episodes. I feel like this was the filler episode. It wasn't bad, nowhere close. Nowhere close. But I did feel like, this was a little of the filler episode because there's so much that you had to get accomplished in this episode. And from a perspective of character development and all of that, they did it. And then we got Frank Castle back. Look. I love John Bright. I still think Ray Stevenson is still the best Punisher we ever got. But John Brighton thought it was a close, very, 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 very close second. You know what I mean? Very close second. But yeah. What did you guys think about this episode? Did you feel like it was a filler episode? What did you guys think? Put it in the chat, or if you watch this on a replay, put it on the comment section. Let me think. Let me know what you guys think.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that up, B.
Y'all hear that? I gotta wrap it up. But thank you so very much for tuning in to another episode of the Dre Max Show. Again, put it in the comment section what you guys think about episode 4 Daredevil. Like I said, really good acting, really good development, but the music teacher needs to be fired. All right, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell notification so you can never miss one of my videos again. Until next time, I'll holler at you guys later. Peace and vibe higher. Don't forget, Thursday is Thursday, so hug your furry friend today. And we built this city on goodbyes. I gotta go. Peace and vibe higher. Let me get up out of here. Where's the outro at? Because I didn't this went too long. I gotta go. Wait a minute. You're telling me the video's over? What? Okay, I guess so. If you have came to this portion of the video, thank you so very much for sticking to the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that little bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. And if you really want to, you don't got to, go ahead and follow the social media links that's down below. Until next time, I'll holler at you guys later. Peace and vibe higher, y'all. Y'all take care of yourself.